Hi, I'm Tony Van Veen, CEO of Discmakers, coming to you today from Discmakers' top secret Caribbean headquarters. Do you realize that one of the areas where artists squander their time the most is during band practice? For many of us, band practices are, or were, fun hours with our bandmates, playing our songs over and over again and loving how great we sound. At least, that's how it used to be for my band. But thinking back on that time, I realized we were incredibly inefficient during our band practices. And I have a feeling that you might be too. So let's talk about how to supercharge your band practices. Let's start by asking what band practices are for. What are we hoping to accomplish? Well, a band practice has one of three purposes, and that purpose depends on where you are in your artistic creative cycle. The first purpose of band practice is writing new songs. When your fans need to hear new songs, you've got to write them, of course. Now, not everybody writes new songs collaboratively during band practice. You may write them by yourself and then bring them to practice. Or you may bring an outline or just a chorus, and your bandmates will help you build the rest of the song. Or at the very least, your fellow band members will contribute some ideas, some flourishes to the composition, or an arrangement that makes the song better. And that gets done during rehearsal time. The second purpose of rehearsal, and this is pretty obvious and what band practice is usually used for, is rehearsing your songs. This includes learning and optimizing your newly written songs. After all, once your new songs are written, you've got to get really good at playing them. Now, there is frequently some overlap between sessions where you compose and then actually learning to play your songs. But if you approach this the right way, rehearsing the songs really is a separate practice session from composing. And not least because you need to rehearse your older songs too from time to time to keep up your chops and your familiarity with them. And then there is the third purpose of band practice, preparing for and optimizing your live performance. What? You don't rehearse your live performance? And I don't mean just making sure you know the songs well enough to perform. And I also don't mean running through your whole set list in the order you're going to perform the songs. I mean really rehearsing your stage presence. Who stands where, who moves how, like actors rehearsing a play. No, you don't do that, do you? Well, you should. There's a legendary live performance coach named Tom Jackson. I've seen him on stage in person, how he transforms a band from ho-hum to really engaging. And it has totally changed the way I view a live performance. If you want to see some of his stuff, by the way, and it's great, go to YouTube and search Tom Jackson Getting Audience Attention. So Tom advises that before any concert, and especially before a large concert or a tour, you want to create as best as you can a practice setup that mimics your live setup. And you practice your live show. Where does the singer stand? And how does she move to engage and interact with every section of your audience? When do the bass and guitar move forward for a solo and then blend back into the background? When do you jump? When do the players and how do they interact with each other? How does the singer manhandle that mic stand? What is your stage banter like with the audience in between songs? When do you pitch your merch table? To do this right, you could probably spend at least one full rehearsal on just one song. And actually, the big artists spend days working on each song to make sure their stage presence is optimized. And then eventually, when you have each song down pat, you'll want to run through your whole set in practice. Now, I can see you thinking, that's so corny. That's so weird. I'm an artist. I'm creative. My stage performance needs to be spontaneous. I'm inspired by the crowd. And you would be wrong. Yes, music needs to be heard, but people come to your shows to not just hear your music, but to see it be performed. And if you don't rehearse that, like a play, then you risk leaving your audience underwhelmed. Take this example. If you rely on the energy of the crowd to be inspired, and you're playing to a 3/4 empty room one night, and you're bummed about that, the crowd will see that. you will not make your best impression, you may not gain any new fans or sell any CDs that night. And that would be a waste, because if you had a well-rehearsed live performance, you would give a consistent kick-ass performance night after night, and you might still gain some new fans in that 3/4 empty room and sell them some CDs and pick up a few bucks. So yes, corny as it may feel, you definitely need to spend lots of time rehearsing your live performances. All right, I got off on a bit of a tangent. So there's 3 kinds of rehearsals: composing great songs, rehearsing the songs so you can play them in your sleep, and perfecting your live performance. So how do you make your rehearsals the most effective use of your time? I'll be discussing that in my next video. Stay tuned.